Welcome to another Encounters episode. Today we take a look at the Pine Barrens sightings. For years, the tales of the Jersey Devil dominated talk of monsters in the Pine Barrens. However, it's time to move over. Bigfoot has moved in. For many years now, reports of a half-man, half-animal creature have been made from the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. Either the Jersey Devil has had a massive makeover, or people are actually seeing Bigfoot. I believe they are seeing Bigfoot. The Barrens has lonely, deserted, even spooky areas that have all the things needed to make a Bigfoot feel at home. Water, trees, undergrowth, animal and plant life for a good diet, and not so many people tromping through. It could be heaven for the big man. The latest encounter was in the month of April 7, 2018. Dave and Tricia, husband and wife, were driving along St. Mary's Road, a dead-end street, through the northern section of the Brendan T. Byrne Forest. The road dead ends with a path and a pond. They decided to get out and walk the dog. As they walked, a musty mildew odor surrounded them, and Dave, getting uneasy, suggested they return to the car. Once back at the car, they turned onto Buckingham Whiting Road. As they drove over the bridge, Tricia decided to stop and take some photos of the water. When she was done, she restarted the car and started to drive on. In the rearview mirror, she caught a glimpse of something brown, about 6 feet tall, on 2 legs, running across the road in a single stride. She stopped the car, startled. Her husband told her to reverse back to the spot. As she backed the car up, Dave could hear branches snapping and something splashing into the water through his open window. They debated whether it could have been a bear, a deer, or a person as they continued to drive. Tricia insisted the creature had been on 2 legs, not 4, was light brown and thin. Finally, they turned around and began to retrace their route to leave. When they were once again driving past the point of her sighting, she thought she could hear a woo-woo-woo-woo sound. They thought it might be something rubbing on the brakes under the car. She stopped the car and they checked but found nothing there. Dave gave the opinion that it had been a warning call from a Bigfoot. Their sighting was reported to the BFRO and was investigated. It was determined that they seemed to have no reason to fabricate their story. It was suggested that the musty smell may have been from the cedar bog water, known to give off a musty mildew odor. You can check report number 59280 for the rest of their findings. In June 2006, a man went into the Pine Barrens to shoot his pistol. He left the pistol in the car and set off walking to check out the area. As he started down one trail, he could hear heavy footsteps running away and a skunky homeless person odor. As he walked in another direction, something appeared to throw a rock into some nearby water. He returned to his truck to retrieve his gun. Thinking better of it, he got in his truck and left. June 13th. Then the man returned on June 18th. While walking the same trail, he heard a loud call, chum 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 chum, and then heard footsteps running towards him through the thick vegetation. The sound came within 15 feet of him and then stopped. He could see nothing, but suddenly a large stick landed next to him. He called out a hello. There was no reply. He could smell the creature and hear it, he could feel its presence, but he could not see it. He backed off and returned again to his truck. When he reached it, once again he could hear that call of chum 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 chum, many times and louder than before. A bird in a tree near him began to act frenzied. The man took the hint and left. On June 25th, the man once again returned to the area, this time bearing food. He took it to the spot where the stick had been thrown at him. As he backed away, he could hear more vocalizations, coo-coo-ka-ka-ka, coo-coo-ka-ka-ka, or something like that. He started back for the trail to see if the food had been taken, but the birds in the area flew off as if something had just frightened them. He looked down the trail and heard a loud snap of a tree or branch breaking. As he backed away, he could hear low moans and groans and smelled that same odor. This was also reported to the BFRO, report number 15062. The investigators found a 12-inch long, 6-inch wide individual track and also a row of tracks in the pine needles leading deeper into the forest. The tracks were in a straight line and were most likely not deer or bear. The rest of their deductions and a couple of photos can be found in the report. In the 1950s, two men camping in the Barrens had two experiences with Bigfoot. Both were at night and featured an overpowering foul odor. In 1974, a truck driver had a sighting of a 7-foot-tall, half-man, half-ape. It walked along casually, paying no attention to the human watching him. On May 23, 1981, three fishermen were driving down a dirt road. Moving gracefully across the road in front of them was a 6.5-foot half-human, half-animal, estimated at a minimum of 300 pounds. This was reported to a local investigator who claims to have records of Bigfoot sightings in New Jersey that go back to 1914. Find more reports and our sightings map at thecryptocrew.com. If you have had a sighting or encounter, then please contact us via our website. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.